Hi, I'm Kerry Pfeffer.
And I'm Diana Sullivan. KPHO-TV 5 is proud to be Arizona's first television station, though we have certainly changed a lot in 51 years.
But one of the things TV5 will always be known for is being home to the Wallace Ladmo Show.
We hope you'll enjoy a look back at this Arizona classic and that you'll continue to look to TV5 for outstanding news, programming, sports coverage, and entertainment.
Now get ready to laugh out loud as we proudly present a Wallace Ladmo tribute.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the real sunshine of Arizona, Wallace Ladmo!
Balloons, anybody? Balloons?
Justice!
Try 35 of these.
Fresh from the oven, baked especially for you, I call them cupcakes.
Hi, I'm Alice Cooper, your tour guide for this special Wallace Ladmo tribute. After 35 years on the air, the Wallace Ladmo Show deserves its place in Arizona history. But if you didn't grow up here, you may wonder why people still talk about it years after being off the air. The reason is simple. It was different. The humor was rebellious, demented, out of whack. Imagine the effect it had on kids who watched it. But enough about me. Here's Wallace with how it all began.
I was a staff artist and studio crew member at Channel 5 when I started making appearances on the old Goldust Charlie show, playing a character named Wallace Sneed.
I better straighten that picture out.
Well, as you can tell, pretty sophisticated stuff. After a while, the station bought some cartoons and they needed a host. I got the job.
It's Wallace?
Helping me behind the scenes was Vladimir Kwiatkowski. Lad was a graduate of ASU and the Sun Devil baseball team and was headed for a career in baseball when he became intrigued with live TV. He took a job with Channel 5, the only TV station in town, as a cameraman, among other duties. But with a face like that, he really needed to be in front of the camera. I quickly recruited him as my sidekick.
Well, what I used to do is I used to lock the cameras off. And then I used to run around the camera, get in front of the camera with Wallace, and we used to do our routines in front with the locked camera.
Kids couldn't get enough of this stuff. Soon a fan club was formed, and Wallace Watchers began showing up at stage shows wearing their prized Wallace Watcher beanies. Meanwhile, back at the station, there was a newly hired Channel 5 anchor and weatherman, Pat McMahon. Born into a vaudeville family, Pat became an instant fan of Wallace Ladmo.
You know, I wanted to be on this show the first time I ever saw it. It was unlike any other kid show I'd ever seen. They didn't talk down to the kids. They treated them like equals. And the comedy really had an edge to it.
One day, one of the bits called for a third person, McMahon. And with Pat on board, the show really took on a new dimension.
All right, listen, here's the real test, lad. Here's the real test if you're going to be a ventriloquist. Can you make him sing while you're drinking a glass of water?
You betcha.
Let's do our big finish and show him, lad.
Okay, Oz.
You do this, and we'll get you on the Ed Sullivan Show. All right. This ought to be good. The dummy will sing while Ladmo drinks a glass of water. Can he throw his voice this way? Let's find out. There's no business. Left, face. That wouldn't happen if you had the rifle up on your shoulder where it belongs. All right.
Sorry,
This is very embarrassing. There's a lot of people watching. I gave you a big build-up. One more chance. Right, face. Ooh. What's the matter with you? Well, just put the rifle down.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Oh! Now, take it easy on me, but do show us some of the stunt fighting that you do.
Well, we do this usually, you know, trying to protect the frame and face here. But
Okay.
Smash and crush. Scratch sometimes. A little kick.
You're tough.
Jane like Wallboy.
Huh? Jane like Tarzan.
No, Jane like Wallboy.
Jane like Tarzan. Tarzan like Cheetah.
No, Jane like
Wait a
Wallboy.
minute.
Jane like Cheetah. Cheetah like Jane.
Jane's gonna get a fat lip.
Hold it, wait a
Jane,
minute.
Jane.
Stop this arguing. For goodness sakes, you're setting a bad example to all the kids.
Well, hi, kids. That's right. It's that time again. Slick Bart.
Soon, Pat was playing hundreds of different characters, and some of them became regulars for the next 30 years.
And you know, there was something just a little off about all of the characters.
You're right. The clown wasn't funny. He didn't like kids. The hero wasn't heroic. The cowboy wasn't a real cowboy. He was just an out-of-work actor.
And of course, we were the first kid show to feature a cross-dresser.
I wanted to be the new TV5 news anchor person.
And they turned you down?
Yes.
Why?
Age discrimination, gender discrimination, and attitude discrimination.
You mean?
Exactly. They said I was too old, unattractive, and not differential enough to men.
Well, let's take those one at a time. First, too old.
Too old. I'm only 85. Now, do I look too old to you?
No. Second, unattractive.
They wanted me to get some nips and tucks.
What?
A face job.
Oh, face job.
I said, no dice. Not going through what Rita Davenport went through, I'll tell you that right now.
And finally, not deferential enough to men. What does that mean?
How should I know, you fat fool?
Look at the little kids in the audience with their foreign taekwondo kung fu outfits on, huh? As for me, I'll buy American every time, and proud to do it.
Hairpiece by Andre of the Philippines.
I'm out of here, that's it.
Boffo, how do you personally feel about the kids?
It's a buck. Your birthday parties, that's where you pick up a lot of coin, because the mom calls me, says, we want a clown over to my kid's birthday party, see, and I show up. I help them out with their merriment and their frivolity, and as long as they keep it down, as long as they don't scream and yell and laugh and giggle, because that really frosts me, man. I have fed up to here.
Marshall Good has been working in an off-Broadway production.
How far off Broadway?
Mesa. But no character would quite strike a nerve with the kids than Gerald, a spoiled brat whose goal in life was to cause trouble for Ladmo.
You're going to take a real mighty swing at this, and then you're going to show me, right?
I am. Now, but first of all, now watch my
Tell
wrist.
me how to do it, lad.
I am. Watch my wrist, and then to follow through. Just follow through. Real nice and easy. Oh, what was that?
I'll tell you what it was. What was that? A priceless one of its only kind, starred from Italy, and you broke it.
I said what it was a baseball ball. No, you see. Well,
You miserable little tract home-buying twerps.
Gerald was a true villain for 30 years.
And he was only 12.
And of course, another star of the show was this, the Ladmo bag. It became as sought after as the Holy Grail.
What is your name?
Carrie.
Carrie's our winner. There's Carrie. She won a Ladmo bag.
Ladmo bags.
How did the Ladmo bags get started? Well, the contest winners took so long to pick a toy from the toy cottage that the pace just dropped off something fierce.
What do you see in the way of a toy that you might want? Huh? Kind of hard to decide.
So Pat came up with the idea to take all the sponsors' products, put them in a paper bag, and hand it to the kids.
So how come we didn't wind up calling it the Patmo bag?
You're right.
Michael wrote us a letter saying, I want a Ladmo bag so bad, I'll suck jelly through a straw.
Yeah?
1, 2, 3, suck jelly!
Oh my goodness, come on. Look at him.
I see it going up.
It's got it. The straw.
You have to empty the entire jar.
Here we go.
This is it. Oh, the lemon's in there.
Ladmo bag, Christine.
There's no sugar in this.
On the lemon.
No.
Ooh, her teeth are going right into it.
Oh!
She's squeezing it.
Oh, look at all that juice.
Sour. What kind of a reward does he get? He gets a lot of love. He gets a Ladmo bag.
There you are. There it is, huh?
To your right.
All right.
To the third row.
1, 2, 3.
Whoever's sitting right on the aisle.
I waited 35 years for that. Coming up, one of Pat's characters hits the big time.
I think the Beatles are exciting. These fellas run over the Beatles. Here they are, Hubcap and the Wheels.
The Wallace and Ladmo Tribute is brought to you by APS, the power to make it happen.
You can watch a Wallace show and you don't even have to pay. Why don't you try?
Help me turn on the time machine.
Okay. How far back you want to go, Walt?
1776.
Oh, okay. That's the spirit, boy.
Good. All right.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Go get him.
Bye, Ladmo.
1776.
What's with the southern accent? Betsy Ross was from New Jersey.
With the time machine, Wall and Lad were transported back into history, sometimes changing its outcome.
Back through time, it's all for you. Don't you want to know?
But this bit is really historical. It's TV5's first color broadcast.
Let's find out now as the time machine opens, and it's,
Well, it's Ludwig van Beethoven, you silly.
Excuse me. Hey, watch it, you dum-dum, you step on. Find a seat, just sit down. Leave me alone. Oh, no. Oh. A whole theater full of seats, and nearly empty, and he has to sit right in front of me. Would you remove your hat, please? I can't see your hat.
It's my hat.
Dum-dum. I can't hear the movie. You're making too much noise.
well, how do you curry rice?
The best way to curry rice is in a shopping bag.
I'm sorry I asked. Nur the Guru, what is your thought for today? Oh, great philosopher.
My thought for today is we should have ditched last joke.
He's picked the envelope. Let's see what's inside. Why, lettuce leaves from his head of lettuce. Oh, and if you'd picked the box, you would have won $5,000. Oh, too bad, but it's always fun to play big deal, especially when I end up with the money. No. Ready for our vegetable serenade. 1, 2, 3.
And the beat goes on. The 60s inspired Wallace and Ladmo's answer to the Beatles.
Look how much I can dance on River Lane. All of the guys in this
the late, great Mike Condello, who had been a Wallace Watcher himself, was playing music on the show from age 16.
It was the most fun period of my life. I would get to, goof around with Ladmo, and we would just come up with words, and I would have a guitar out, and we would come up with music, with stuff that we could do on the air 2 hours later.
Soggy cereal, soggy cereal, soggy cereal. You drop it in the bowl, the milk goes on, the telephone rings, and for a moment you're gone. When you get back, your temper grows hot, 'cause you've just discovered a communist plot.
Mike wrote and performed original music for the show, including the famous Ho Ho Ha Ha theme song, as well as some amazing parodies of popular songs.
Wall said, hey, let's do another record. I think we ought to call it the Salt River Navy Band.
Picture yourself on a bench in the park with giant black hat and polka dot tie. Suddenly Gerald gets you in trouble, and you're still wondering why.
This was only a couple weeks after the Sgt. Pepper album was released, and I thought, gee, what a great idea. We'll do an entire ripoff, satire parody. Went to Audio Recorders, and Tim Ramsey, who did such a great work on that, made it sound pretty darn close. And we only worked about 6 or 7 hours on it.
I watched the tube today, Wall Boy. Captain Super didn't make the grade.
Inspired by Mike's music, the guys came up with another character, a 60s rock idol, with a band called Hubcap and the Wheels.
We actually had a few local hits, and then amazingly enough, we signed a national recording contract with Capitol Records and wound up on the Steve Allen Show.
I heard you fellas are very big over there. That's hello to Phoenix. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world. We got a lot of good friends over there. And did you start at local dances or one of the radio stations or what?
Well, we do. We were doing a regular television show called It's Wallace, 5 days a week on, may I say the call letters?
Anything, sure.
Oh, KPHO television.
That's the first place I ever did a radio show on a regular basis.
May I do something?
I don't know exactly what you're planning on doing.
I just wanted to touch something. I'm not going to pull. Oh,
right.
I just want to touch.
Only my hairdresser knows for sure.
Oh, you're really very funny.
When you sing like we do, you have to have a pretty good sense of humor.
If we could interview you for our show.
No, I'm sorry. That's impossible. You've been turned down now before. You ought to know better. Isn't that right, boys and girls?
I don't have time.
What are you trying? No, I don't have time for this. Who let you in here?
I'm sorry, sir.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Well, I hope so.
In 1971, KPHO moved from the Westward Ho to a brand new building on Indian School Road, with 7,000 square feet of new studio space for Wallace and Ladmo to play with.
Time now for the low-budget talk show. Uh-oh.
Might allow
Wait a
me
minute,
to
just
be in the Hall of Fame of
hold it just a
collecting.
second. The cameramen are complaining that they're getting a glare, a reflection off the glass.
I don't understand.
Can we take the document out of the
no,
the frame?
It hasn't been out of there for years. I keep it on the mantle, please.
I can see why. The parchment is very old and brittle, but I'll be very careful so
All
we
right.
can get a good look at it.
Take special care, won't you, please?
Oh, it
See, you
is
see,
old.
When one collects documents
And
like-
dusty.
Yes,
Very
it is,
dusty.
because, of
Let me
course,
blow
when you
some of the
talk
dust.
Benjamin Franklin, you have to understand that... Achoo! Gesundheit.
They told me that this show is for little kids.
What, for the kids?
And what are the kids? Are they home watching us now?
They're just before they're on their way to school.
Oh, well, I don't want them to be late for school and don't do like I did and play hooky. You know, playing hooky is not going to school sometimes and hiding in the alleys and in the garbage cans like they do on Sesame Street. That ain't good.
My backup singers couldn't make the flight.
Well, I may be able to help you. We have a couple of gals standing in the wings. La la Lula Guampi.
Hello, Ducky, baby. You're always there when I need you to understand. Make me a man.
It is written, a man who zumptigi flirtly will forever be pilwam dum duzyok. What? It was very poorly written.
Oh.
These things should be typed out. How dare this TV station try to take me off the air? Why me? I'll tell you why, because I'm on TV, dummy, that's why. It's all part of the corporate plot, that's it. They want to control us. There is no freedom of speech. There is only Channel 5, NBC, CBS, ABC, and these corporate monsters are afraid of me because I want to tell the truth. Do you understand? I had a vision, a voice.
In 1975, Wall, Ladd, and Pat were honored with the prestigious Copper Mike Awards. 500 guests in black tie watched with horror as the three fought over the single trophy.
And needless to say, it was the last time the Copper Mike Award was ever given.
However, in '78, the show received its 7th Emmy Award in a live broadcast where Wall and Ladd were presenters.
Hi, Idaho. Hi, Colorado. Hi, New Mexico. Hi, Utah.
Montana.
That's the closest we'll ever get to being on the network.
I know.
We'll make the most of it.
Also in the '70s, Sergeant Harry Florian became a regular on the show. Kids waited eagerly for the police officer's message each week, mainly to see what someone would do to make Harry laugh. And who can forget this famous entrance?
Oh, here he comes! Here comes Sergeant Harry Florian of the Phoenix Police Department. He's driving in on a motorcycle. He's getting closer. You just killed Santa's helper. Huh? Hey, you all right, Warren?
I'm fine. This is what I wonder about.
Hey, I gotta tell you, Warren did a header right over Why are you here today, Harry? Huh?
That's why I wore a helmet. I never drove one of these before.
As embarrassing as these incidents were, it never dampened the really deep feelings that Aunt Maud had for Officer Harry.
Hi, Aunt Maud.
Love you when I heard that grating, high-pitched giggle as I walked in. You're back! Do you have any idea? Sit down with me, Harry. Go away, Blimpo. We don't need you. Do you have any idea what it's been like without you? You just went off one day and there was no more Harry, and instead they sent down somebody from the zoo. I don't understand your replacement. I mean, when I want an officer friend, I want someone with steely gray Barry Goldwater hair, not Brillo. That new fellow's weird. I'm telling you, you have friends like Chief Reuben, and he has Larry and Moe.
I lived in Phoenix, Arizona for over a decade, and I watched them every day. And even when I grew up and I was supposed to be too old to watch them, I still watched them because they were very hip. They always kept abreast of the times, and they were very hip. They were the Saturday Night Live before Saturday Night Live. They were the Second City before the Second City.
Morning. Thanks for tuning in.
The Wallace Ladmo Show is a wild collection of characters and skits wrapped around kids' cartoons. But though the show is aimed at kids, enough adults watch to make it the most popular show in its time period.
Did you know the kiwi bird of New Zealand weighs 4 pounds and lays a 5-pound egg, but not very often? And then only if you use a whip.
We believe in entertainment. That's the whole thing.
Listen, if you can have a lot of laughs at 7 o'clock in the morning over your English muffins and your orange juice, not too bad.
And your algebra and your English homework, it's not bad.
After nearly 30 years on the air, what is the key to Wallace and Ladmo's success? They still have fun doing their show. I'm Mary Hart in Phoenix for Entertainment Tonight.
1984 marked Wallace and Ladmo's 30th anniversary. The show had survived 7 presidencies and 4 popes. There had been almost 7,000 broadcasts.
I looked Ladmo out in the encyclopedia.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't know it was in there. I didn't either. I just looked. Yeah, well, what did it say? See politicians.
Ventriloquist Dan Horn became a regular, along with Kathy Dresbach, who brought a number of different characters to life.
Yeah, me, my. Heaven on earth. What did you say it's called?
This is called Le Wiggler Waggler de la Quack Quack.
In English.
Duck tongue.
Duck tongue? Will you excuse me for just a moment?
We rejoice in our completeness. Is there anything wrong with that?
Is there, Father?
Yes. Do you understand? You're not just marrying a puppet. You're marrying this. A hand.
Repeat after me. I promise to be nice to my mother. Sons!
Kathy was a member of a local comedy team known as the Aho Repertory Company. Very talented group.
Mr. Hadlick, we all understand your anxieties over not winning any of the contests.
No. I don't think you do understand my anxieties about not winning any contests. See, when I say I've entered all the contests, I mean I've entered all the contests. Look, I've entered Call a Kid, Pet Photos, every contest all the way back to the stinking Toy Cottage!
I won a slinky from Toy Cottage.
You're pushing me, sister.
Toy Cottage. Big deal. You want to know what sticks in my craw? These people are stranded on this island for, what, 7, 8 years? All these people find out that they're there, but they don't tell anybody. And nobody ever tries to put the make on Ginger. Yeah, right. Tell me all about it.
Ginger?
Yeah, you know, Ginger. Gilligan's too stupid, the skipper's too fat, and... isn't this the Gilligan's Island encounter?
No, this is Wallace Anonymous.
Oh,
Wallace Ladmo.
son of a gun of a... I'm still on LA time. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm really sorry. Hey, look, you guys are making terrific progress. You're talking about it. That's important, right?
That's very
right?
good.
See,
Very good.
look, I'm really sorry, okay? I'll just wait outside. I'm sorry.
Got a petition here from some folks. Petition? Yeah, requesting 2 or more Roger Ramjet cartoons every day.
2 or more?
It's got a whole bunch of names here.
Wow.
Don Bandy, James Doty or Doty, Bob Lewis.
What school are they from?
Fuel Pump Lounge.
You notice anything different?
Anything different? No, I don't notice nothing.
I'm wearing a wig.
Why?
I got a bad perm,
Well, where do you get your hair done?
Mr. Bozo's.
Mr. Bozo?
But not anymore. Get a lot of this. Did you ever see anything so ridiculous in all your life?
Hello. Hello. Won't you come over here for just a moment? I'd like to chat with you.
Thank you.
Just make yourself comfortable here so that we can talk. Now, you're the young man who won't let me finish my story, right?
That's right.
Were you always a good guy in the movies?
Was I always a good guy? Usually. But I did play a bad guy in Cattle Rustlers of Montana.
Ooh, did you rustle?
Only when I wore taffeta shorts.
Wait a minute, we got visitors. What's this?
Out of here. Go away.
I'm glad you came to Captain Super for advice.
I hate that.
Because I can set you straight.
Oh, no. Here we go
You
again.
see, this whole women's lib thing is just a silly fad. You can't get caught up in it. It's all dreamed up by a bunch of homely dames who couldn't get a man. That's all there is to it.
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
The women's movement is ruining the moral fiber of this country, not to mention the economy. And the sooner that you all get back in the kitchen where you belong, the better off we'll be. And Sweet Lump, that's the thing that you have to remember in order to get along in this man's world.
You know, Soup, my handbook says I have to deal with the attitudes of boneheads in a calm, rational manner.
Mm-hmm.
One small stomp for woman, one giant stomp for womankind.
Well, here they are, the human bagpipes.
Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
This is Wallace, and Ladmo standing right here. Would you?
Kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you, sir. It really is us to announce that Cammie's card was just picked out of the barrel.
Oh, this is historic. This is a historic thing here.
Did you watch when you were a
I've
kid?
been watching since I was 7 years old, and I'm 38 now.
Thank you, Mr. Clipper.
Good job.
Wait a minute. I mean, here's a state that has got the Grand Canyon, Carl Hayden, Paul Fannin, and you guys are going in the Hall of Fame?
They've run out of ideas, I guess.
You know, this is a historical day. Wallace and Ladmo have 1,000 times over earned this great record that has brought them to the Hall of Fame.
We are very honored and kind of choked up a little bit because this is quite an honor.
Thank you for doing this while we're still alive.
Here we go.
All right.
I got the keys.
I hate it when we do this.
Okay, so you got this straight, Gerald? No goofing around. We're about to pass out the tickets and give away the Ladmo bags.
You're telling me no goofing around. You've spent your entire career goofing around.
There's no business like show, business like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Why could you have that happy feeling?
Over the years, Wallace and Ladmo made over 8,000 stage appearances, with hardly any dismemberments.
People, they smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. That night you opened and there you are. Let's go.
But the mother of them all took place on a beautiful April day in 1989 at Encano Park. 40,000 fans gathered to celebrate Wallace and Ladmo's 35th anniversary. It was a mini Woodstock.
I caution our sensitive viewers, do not watch. This will not be pretty.
Oh, all right, now I'm really thirsty.
Hope there's not any poor slobber in it.
What are you doing? Time's up.
There goes the wind. Look out.
And whereas the Wallace and Ladmo Show has brought the joy and laughter to 3 generations of Arizona. Now, therefore, I, Rose Mofford, Governor of the State of Arizona, do hereby proclaim April the 1st, 1989, as Wallace and Ladmo Day.
Thank you.
Gerald, I have a citation for you, and it reads...
For me, I had no idea.
It says to Gerald, in recognition of being the biggest brat in Arizona.
That's pretty good.
I think I'm honored. Does this mean that I'll have a legislative position?
All of these proclamations and accolades made Wallace start to wonder if he shouldn't quit while he was ahead. Advice was sought from a fellow Arizona institution, Senator Barry Goldwater.
We don't know whether to retire or keep going, so we came to you for guidance, for counsel. We need some words of wisdom from you on this matter.
Uncle Barry, how did you make those decisions when you were in Washington all those years?
Well, a very simple way. There. Stay on.
But when Channel 5 management came on the show with a new contract, things got out of hand, thanks to Gerald.
And look at this. They make more money than I do. That does it. See what I think your contract?
Hey,
so much for your
Gerald!
contract and so much for the attorneys. I don't care.
Oh.
So it's nose shtick, is it, huh? Nice tie, bonehead!
Oh, my goodness! No!
Now, wait a minute, I may have been hasty. Hold on just a second. Wait, hold.
Well, after 35 years on the air, a Phoenix television institution will be no more. The Wallace and Ladmo Show on Channel 5 will end its long reign on the 29th.
To a packed audience, Wallace and Ladmo taped their final show, which aired on December 29th, 1989.
Wow! goodness. Everybody.
Here comes Ladmo with the very last Ladmo bag to be given away. How many have you given away?
Oh, about 300,000 Ladmo bags. And this is the last Ladmo bag to be given away, and I want to give it to my good buddy and my good friend for 36 years, Wallace! Hey! He never won a Ladmo bag. This is your Ladmo bag.
I get it.
Yes, thank you, old boy. Yeah, you're my buddy.
But face it was 36 years, and how many people have that kind of a run?
Would you have done anything different at all?
I would have asked for more money.
It was great. It was fun. I enjoyed and loved every minute of it. It was terrific.
Less than 5 years later, the unthinkable happened. Ladmo was stricken with cancer and died March 2nd, 1994. The entire state mourned.
It's a sad day here in the Valley.
Latimer Kwiatkowski died of complications related to the cancer he'd been battling for months.
A pioneer in Valley television.
Ladmo had really two families, his wife and kids and everybody else's.
Un personaje que fue querido por niños de todas las edades.
Growing up here in the Valley, I'd like to think that Ladmo was my friend. He was everyone's friend.
Millions watched his show, and tonight thousands are expected at his funeral. Tonight in Tempe, services for Latimer.
Pat, I need your help. Up that center aisle. To your left. To the fourth row. Okay. And the second seat in. Now your mom's going to get mad at me for doing that. Hey, little Wallace, what do you think? No? Okay.
Sign mine. Okay. And don't leave.
Ladmo would have loved it.
And forever and ever and ever, when kids say, "What's a Ladmo?" See, they're going to be able to say, "Well, he's the guy that they named this after."
Okay, we're ready to go.
Now all we have to do is close our eyes and remember the joy and the caring and the love that these guys brought to us every day that helped make our childhood a happy time.
All right. There's a Wallace and Ladmo club here. They're going to help me. Get a life!
With the dedication of the Wallace and Ladmo stage, the legend lives on. There's also a Ladmo Boys and Girls Club, a Ladmo Park, a book, a CD, even a play is in the works. We caught some of the auditions on tape.
Make sure that if you haven't already signed in, that you are signed in.
Pat called me after the Goldwater play and said, "Have you ever thought about writing something about Wallace and Ladmo?" And that's been over 2 years ago.
How on earth can you allow these three degenerates to continue contaminating the minds of Arizona's children?
Sincerely, Beverly Overmeyer.
Wow, that was a great letter, Mrs. Overmeyer, and thanks for coming down.
I was told I would receive a Ladmo bag.
The only role that I'm eligible for now is Aunt Maud, with no makeup.
Hey, lad,
Yeah.
what if you got a call from Los Angeles?
If I got a call from Los Angeles, it would be a wrong number.
Hopefully there are people out there that remember, and of course Ben is crafting a script that will appeal to those who've never heard of Wallace and Ladmo.
Trying to find out what that one story was out of all 35 years to tell. That was the toughest part.
To keep you Wallace Watchers posted in all of this, there's What Else? A website. You'll find it on www.wallaceandladmo.com. Good luck on the trivia quiz. If you win, you're a sick puppy. Hey, if you didn't grow up here, you probably have better mental health than I do. But I hope our tribute to Wallace and Ladmo gave you a little taste of what you missed. And if you did, I hope it brought back some great memories. I know it did for me. I'm Alice Cooper. Thanks for watching.
Now, tomorrow on the show, Captain Super. Hold it, there's more.
There's more.
Hubcap and the wheel. But that's it for right now. We're out of time and out of cartoons. Goodbye, all.
See you tomorrow. Tune in every Monday through Friday at this same time for more fun with Wallace and his gang. It's Wallace is a KPHO-TV production.
Long before there was flower power, there was black and white, and there was Eisenhower. There was coming home after school. I'd eat some bowl of gruel sold by the shaky gray image on my TV. There were a couple of guys I liked to see. I was kicking back on the floor in 1954. Then came Grudgemeyer gags and Ladmo bags and Auntie Maud in a shawl. Captain Super, get the scooper, and that Gerald still makes my skin crawl. I'd rush home at 4 p.m. Then I was one of them. Long before there was flower power, there was black and white, and there was Eisenhower. There was kicking back on the floor with the TV by the door in 1954.
Watching all these years. We've got the most wonderful audience in the world. We love you.
Yeah, we love you.